delivery into the AlNassr penalty area. Away it goes from Al-Amri. It was his centre-back partner, wasn't it, Mohamed Simakan last week, who rather surprisingly popped up with the opening goal and for so long looked like the winning goal against Al Hilal. He's the one who's come out of that centre-back position to win it back for AlNassr and to get them moving as well. Inigo Martinez trying to thread it through for Cristiano Ronaldo. Up on it from the Spaniard to the Portuguese, and maybe a sign of some early Damac goals.
Brozovic will be a big miss for AlNassr this evening. You know his creativity, he sits in that holding midfield role. Quite a lot of what they do go through him when you talk about breaking the lines. He's there, he always finds those spaces.
It makes you wonder what the script says tonight. He'll want to be front and centre of it, Cristiano Ronaldo. Sadio Mane is a big part of this football club for the past couple of seasons as well. With your goals as and when they go in from those crucial games elsewhere tonight that affect these two clubs. Al Hilal at the top, Al Riyadh down at the bottom. Here's Kingsley Coman. Felix. Claimed by Kevin. Appears to be in a hurry already, does he?
I think we've seen in these early stages, Damac certainly won't be in a hurry. They're not behind at times where we've seen them exposed. Actually, AlNassr this season have got a really good defensive record.
And Al Hilal have scored already tonight at Al Fayr inside the first few minutes. Sultan Mandash has given Simone Inzaghi's team the lead. So, as it stands, long way to go, clearly. But if it stays as it is now, it would be Al Hilal's title tonight, not AlNassr's. And that scoreline, I imagine, will be rippling through this stadium right now.
Well, they know what they've got to do, AlNassr. They've got to win this game. There's no way you can go through a game and try and get the draw or manufacture a result. They know tonight, AlNassr, that they have to win.
Another early goal tonight in the game between Al-Ittihad. Move for the next 85 minutes. We can still call the champions of the Saudi Pro League. Saudi Asir leading by a goal to nil. Al Jawer has got it. Also off to a fast start, Al Riyadh tonight, who have gone 1-0 up against Al Oxud, who remember have already been relegated.
Well, that affects this game, surely, doesn't it? That means that Damac now have to get some kind of result here because Al Riyadh are beneath them.
That is the scenario, 2 points above the bottom three at the start of the evening, Damac. For that head-to-head record with Al Riyadh, a point here will be enough for survival, but they lose and Al Riyadh win, then Damac go down tonight. So there are so many intriguing plot lines. Here's Mane. This is Ronaldo. He's taken a tumble, but with good vision, the referee waves away the protest. The whistle does go, but it's a Damac free kick. Out. Taken forward by Martinez for AlNassr. League table as it stands now. Coman, but remember, we need to get clarity on that because it would be Al Hilal's title as it stands. Coman swings it in, that's blocked. Felix to Mane. Mane doesn't get the corner because the offside flag is up against him.
Looks like he's given a slightly freer role tonight, Sadio Mane, as we know, occupies that left-hand side. How well that he does it. He's popped up on one or two occasions in the middle there, and he tried to break the defensive line, flagged offside. Referee already having a word with the goalkeeper. Time wasting. The AlNassr fans inside the stadium know exactly what's going on.
They were only beaten 1-0 by Al Hilal at the end of April, Damac. They got a point against Al Qadiyas here last month as well. This team have tended to give the heavyweights of the league a run for their money this season.
Yeah, 2 wins in the last 16 away though. It doesn't bode well for Damac. It was always going to be a huge challenge for them. When you want to stay in a league with such quality like this, you don't leave it till the last game when you're playing the potential champions.
Largely at the feet of those in white so far. Coleman has it taken from him, and Simakan's boot was high. I'm not surprised that Tariq Abdullah isn't jumping to his feet off the back of that.
Yeah, I think there's a case for Abdullah ducking his head low as well. You can see that Simakan's foot was clearly high. The referee's been quite sensible this early on. Not a lot of contact, as we can see. Simakan purely on instinct. Maybe I take that back. It was a high foot without the contact. That shows you there from the goalkeeper. The long ball, they've got no intention of playing out. They've got no build-up play. They're here to stay in this game as long as they can, make it difficult, make it hard, break it down, stoppages, free kicks, set plays, corners.
And they are without one of their most creative tonight as well in Valentin Bada. The Argentinian 11 goals this season. He also got 2 assists last week in that 3-0 win over Alfea. Look at Joao Felix, he's doing the counting for the referee in terms of how long the goalkeeper's going to cling on to it.
This is what AlNassr need to avoid. We're only 11 minutes into the game. You know, be patient. You can see the way that Damac have set up already. They're here to be defensive. This has gone back to the goalkeeper off Ronaldo, so he quite rightly takes his time and picks it up. But the frustration levels from Ronaldo, from Felix, take your time. There's a long way in this game to go. The quality will come through eventually, and this is the same type of game that they've faced all season. They've had to build up, they've had to be patient, and I'm sure at some point tonight their time will come.
Haven't had it all their own way, have they? They have had to navigate periods of adversity across this campaign, AlNassr. That's what's made the tale so compelling. Get enough on it, maybe fortunate that it crept through to its intended target. Mane is up against Jonathan Ukita. He's found a way to locate Joao Felix as well. Felix has run out of room.
Does well there, Harkas, central defender. Just stands his ground, doesn't put a challenge in. Uses his body strength.
Grew up with the Atlas Mountains on his doorstep, Jamal Harkas. And as AlNassr fans will remember, he was the player that scored for Damac against them in the reverse fixture, which AlNassr won back in January when these two met. Yellow card here for one of, if not Jorge Jesus himself, or perhaps one of his backroom members of staff here for something that's been said.
Start booking Jorge Jesus for his touchline antics. I think he might have served a few bans this season. That technical area means nothing to that man. He lives and breathes every single minute. He's a credit at his age, he really is. He's a joy to watch.
He's not taking much joy in watching Kevin at the moment, though, is he? Because Kevin is taking as long as possible, and I think that is what is irritating AlNassr's technical area. Here comes Damac, though. Didn't quite take it with him. Wilson there, who is going to be playing that lone forward role tonight for Damac. So much belief in the stands. Can this AlNassr team make it happen? Felix, the punch away by Kevin, the hit through a crowd, and it didn't quite make it on target for Al-Khaibari.
He's not prolific, Al-Khaibari, is he? He finds himself in a really good position, takes on the volley. If you look at the ball, the way that he was spinning, I think that's what made it very difficult for the AlNassr central midfielder, the way that the ball arrived at his feet. It's his intention. Quite have the end product. The AlNassr fans already getting frustrated. You can hear the boos. See the way that this is going to pan out. It's all about AlNassr and how patient they are.
Hello, it's a free kick for AlNassr, won by Ronaldo, who has wasted no time in picking that ball up to save. Here we go, this is my first sighter.
He knows what's at stake this evening. You don't give a free kick in these areas. Believe me, I've been beaten many a time from those type of distances from him. He believes, and they do believe inside this stadium, and they believed last week, all until the 97th minute. But the result has got to be there for them to lift that trophy. They're in position A, just have to take full advantage, and this is a great opportunity.
One Portuguese has passed it up for another. Cristiano Ronaldo has said to João Felix, you are going to deliver. Ronaldo amongst many in white waiting for it, and João Felix nearly found Simicam. Really a rinse and repeat of last week. Forward again. Round by Martinez. Coman. Martinez in the right wing position. He's doing brilliantly. And still past Nikita. Here's Mane. Felix has ended up on the ground having distributed the ball. Given away by Bouchel.
attacking threat. He kind of half looked for a penalty, but he does spend a lot of time on the ground, João Felix. The referee has to be clever. He looks at what he gives. Been a really good integration into the side for AlNassr this season, João Felix. You look at his contributions, not just his goal, but he's had 12 assists as well. Not hard when you've got the players around you like he has, but he has been quality. It finally looks like he's found his home as well. He's still only 26 years of age. You look at the club that he's played for. Great CV. Benfica, Atletico, Chelsea, AC Milan, and now here it looks like he's found his home and settled with his Portuguese counterpart.
20 minutes in, still goalless. But the intensity of AlNassr is there for all to see. Kingsley Coman, Kaibari, the Senegalese Mane. Hi for everybody. We are hearing that our player has had a goal disallowed against Al Hilal, so it is still Al player 0, Al Hilal 1. They remind. How long for Damac was this though?
I don't see a scenario where AlNassr don't win this game. The way that Damac is set up, they're so defensively submissive with the back five sitting back. Here they go again.
Coman into the middle, great stop by the goalkeeper, and then Ronaldo over the top. The initial save from Kevin to deny Mane was a very decent one.
So much better from AlNassr. Move the ball quicker. First pass in behind this Damac defensive line. The super ball, well-timed run from Coman. This is what he's done all season. First time pass.
World Cup squad named earlier today. He, without any surprise at all, one of the names on the list, as was Kalidou Koulibaly as well, who we know has been absent from Al Hilal's running because of injury.
And there's no surprise that AlNassr's dipping form mid-season to get another opportunity to look at his chance here. Well created by Kingsley Coman. Ronaldo had a lot to do with the diving header. Always a big ask. And Sadio Mane was missing for AFCON. No surprising that that's when AlNassr's form dipped. Came back. He's still at 34 years of age, the Senegalese international, over 115 caps for his country, has such a big impact.
Hoping he was going to hear the sound of the whistle there, Mane, but now AlNassr free kick. Now that's a throw, but the ball didn't quite creep over the line. Two teams have been dragged over there, so it is a Damac free kick. For AlNassr will be that they will not want this game to play out in the manner of the Champions League 2 final at the weekend against Gambra Osaka, the Japanese team that they unexpectedly were beaten that final by. They had 20 shots, AlNassr, compared to Gambra Osaka's 3.
The last thing that AlNassr need is for this game to go deep, as we say. They need to get the goal and they need to rest nerves very quickly. They don't need this game to be 0-0 after 60 minutes, 70 minutes and go late needing the goal to then go on and win the league. They need to get the goal very quickly. Press high and keep going the way that they've started. Be patient, but at the same time, the longer it goes, it's going to become more nervy. You can hear the atmosphere change inside the stadium.
We are a quarter of the way through the night. As it stands, it's Al Hilal's title. Back to Bento. Bento had to smash it away with Rilson's presence.
He's not really covered himself in glory in recent weeks. Bento, as we know from the goal last week against Al Hilal, that time it was a really poor touch. He looks nervy. He's had nothing to do at all this evening. That's probably the second touch of the ball that he's had.
Won't help if Got the first of the three against Al for Damac last week. Beaten 3 games in a row before that very significant win. They didn't win any of their first 10 Damac in the Saudi Pro League this season, and only 1 win in their first 20 league games.
They didn't win any of their first 10 yet. AlNassr won their first 10 in a row. I mean, there's the contrast, and there's the gulfing class. But pressure does funny things to players.
Yellow card for Sanusi Asawi for delaying the restart.
You can clearly see the game plan from Damac. They're here to spoil, they're here to upset the rhythm, not try and let AlNassr get into any type of rhythm, no fluidity. So far it's worked for them. It's dominated the game. Again, it's just about, you see, intimidating the crowd. You can see what they're here to do. They're here to spoil the party. AlNassr just need to keep cool temperaments.
Made a bit of a hash of that. Well obeyed. Now just given a corridor to pinch the ball back. Moment is off. There's a kick at him. And that's another yellow card that's coming the way of AlNassr here. Former AlNassr youth player as well. Second booking of the evening for those in red.
Two Damac players now. Running close to a yellow card, 2 that have got them. A long evening chasing back and making defensive challenges like that while you're already carrying a yellow card. They've done well, Damac. They've stayed in the game. For how long, you do wonder.
Tension is growing. Martinez, more than 70% of the ball AlNassr so far. Felix waiting over the top from him. That's found himself a really nice area inside the Damac penalty area.
Yeah, ball arrived in very quickly. You see just pure instinct. Gets into the space, hits it with his left foot. It's a lovely ball in. There's nothing else he can do really. In a really tight angle. Hits it first time with his left foot. Not the outcome he would have wanted. Good run, well timed.
Moving forward to be part of the latest AlNassr attack, and there's been plenty of them in the 28 minutes so far in the capital. They keep coming. What a play it goes off Cameron Bay.
Michelle, the right back for AlNassr, can play a big part this evening. Look at the way that Damac are defending. They've got it pretty much sorted in the middle. But when you get the overload, 2 fullbacks, Martinez is not going to really push forward that much. He's naturally a central defender, as we've seen him play there. But Michelle on the right-hand side can be a real attacking threat for AlNassr. On the overload, on the outside, creating chances, putting crosses in the box.
He will very much be hoping to get on the end of one here. Alex Martinez. From above the head of Ronaldo by Kevin.
It's a well-worked corner. Well taken by Felix. Obviously picked out Martinez at the far post. His job was just to help it back into an area. He just couldn't quite get the contact or power that he would have wanted. This is an interesting conversation. side. They have to be quick, they have to move the ball swiftly, try and get in behind, move those red jerseys out of the formation that they've got. Very organised, Damac.
Without Brozovic tonight, he's going to be entrusted with most of the AlNassr set pieces. The header finds the net. Sadio Mane for AlNassr. Riyadh ready to party. They can almost taste that league title. Feel the relief, feel the joy and the emotion inside that stadium. That's the breakthrough that they needed, and it's come from such a simple set play. João Felix with an outswinger. Sadio Mane doesn't have to do a lot to get himself free. 1 or 2 yards that he creates himself, gets space 7 yards from goal, and it's a difficult header, it's almost behind him. He adjusts his body, he cranes his neck, and he gets his head around the ball. One of the smallest players on the pitch, and he gets the power and direction into the bottom left-hand corner. And now the belief has started. Oh yes, they are rubbing their hands at the prospect of what might be coming their way. AlNassr back at the top of the Saudi Pro League table. And not only if it stays as it is, are they going to win it, but Damac are going to go down here tonight too.
Isn't it amazing what a goal could do? Listen at the atmosphere inside the stadium now. It gets to 35 minutes, it was nerves, it was tension, it was apprehension. A clear foul on the far side there from Felix with his right shoulder. But the atmosphere now, they believed from the first game of the season, there was a genuine belief that this year was their year. They had their dip in form, they stuck by their team. The support has never ever wavered, home or away, and they thought they'd done it last week, and we're there again. They think they've done it again.
And that thought might just be lingering in the back of the mind. Tonight they've got an awful long way to go and find the goals that will make sure there is no way back for Damac. In it comes towards Bento, that collision with Simakan. Bento held on to it that time.
Good decisive goalkeeper from Bento. It's a repeat of last week. This time he goes up against his own central defender once again. Arguably a bigger and stronger one. Goalkeeper dominates the situation. For AlNassr now, they don't want to recreate last week, the nerves and the tension, the 1-0. They now need to go on and get the second, get the third, and really enjoy this evening.
Well, it's gold at the moment. Electric inside Al Park. Coman. His balance. Getting out after another corner. They've already had great profits from one just a moment ago.
Do you know, they've not really created that much from open play. You know, when you look at the statistics, yes, they've dominated every category you can think of. But actually opportunities on goal, 7 in goal for Damac, not had that much to do. But it's taken a brilliant outswinging delivery from that man and an excellent header from that man to break the deadlock. Can they do it again?
The assist king is on it again, João Felix. 13 now for him in this Saudi Pro League season. Who might he be able to find next? Too close to Kevin that time. Unable to bring it under control. Felix hungry to get it back. Simakan took his eye off it. He's one of the more experienced members of this Damac side. Nikita, the Congo man. Now Al-Abeid. Formerly of AlNassr, he was part of the title-winning team in 2019, the one who wears 13 for Damac tonight. It's forward, far too heavy. From a Damac perspective, far too familiar from what we've seen so far tonight.
Great statistic for AlNassr. Scored in every single league game this season now. Had done previously tonight. Now obviously they've kept that trend up. Great record. Every single game that they've scored in. Average 2.63 goals per game. And if that doesn't win the title, I'd be very surprised.
They're on course. They are on course. Ronaldo almost rolls back the years.
He doesn't need to roll back the years at 41. I mean, it's incredible the height that he gets. Arguably Sadio Mane behind him was in a better position. A decent ball into the box. How many times have we seen him achieve the spectacular? Tried it, maybe slightly too high for him that time.
Become a record breaker in yet another department this summer. Cristiano Ronaldo having been named in the Portugal World Cup squad in recent days. He plays any minute, and I'm sure he'll play many minutes this summer. That will be his 6th appearance to the World Cup finals. No player's ever done that before.
I was looking at the stats this morning. It's quite incredible, isn't it? Was it 226 caps or something like that internationally? I mean, that thing in itself is absolutely amazing. Over 220 caps for your country. I mean, the man is a machine.
Toying with Damac just yet, AlNassr, but they've got an iron grip of this.
That's what they've got to guard against, taking it too easy now. Because Damac obviously gone one down. We've seen the way that they've set up.
Ronaldo. Alex with great feet, bringing the save from Kevin. They're all pumped up.
They won that second. That second goal was all important for AlNassr. Good play that time from João Felix. First touch is what gave him the opportunity to get the strike away. Ball into him. Comfortable save at the end from the goalkeeper. He made him work, Felix.
The goal scorer so far tonight, leaving it to the assist maker. From the right, now one from the left from João Felix. Has the potential to really destroy Damac. Felix was in towards Al-Amri. That's going to restart things, but we'll start by going back to Bouchal. Felix gloriously taken. Unlucky that it didn't quite run for him with Still for company. Still in the situation. Letting him out of the Riyadh cul-de-sac. Mane for Ronaldo.
What the first touch that was from João Felix. That encapsulated every little bit of quality he's got.
They just look like they're suffocating under the weight of the night, Damac here.
But AlNassr have to take advantage of that situation. And Ronaldo knows that. He knows that his team have to make the most of the possession they've got, the pressure that they've got. The longer it stays 1-0, Damac is still in the game.
And Al-Hilal are still leading Al-Fayr by a goal to nil as well. Al-Riyadh still winning their game against Al-Oqdoud, so it stands, AlNassr champions, Damac relegated.
Chance again, see the goal. As you see there, Sadio Mane, he doesn't have to do a lot to create himself a space. Really poor defensively from Damac. Zonal marking, man-to-man marking. Nobody marking Sadio Mane. Thank you very much.
Kita, but out of the reach of Asari, who's crept forward in a rare moment. Ronaldo spinning it towards Mane. Coman in the middle. Felix joining as well. Mane, Ronaldo, and Felix almost got in each other's way, and then the shot from Yaya is repelled, and eventually the offside flag goes up.
Mane was offside initially in the build-up, the ball over the top. He shouldn't be a player of his experience looking all the way along the line. Good ball over the top to him. Plugging away AlNassr. Felix got in Ronaldo's way there. I think Ronaldo was in a better position. Wouldn't have counted with the offside decision given.
Three minutes to play at the end of the first half. It's been as absorbing as we predicted it might be.
They've been good, AlNassr. They've approached the game in a way that we thought they would do. They've dominated the game in the way that we thought they would do. But actually it's still only 1-0. We, as they, know only too well after what happened last week against Al Hilal. They need a second.
Wilson. I think asking a little too much though. Mane's gone back to Bento. Bento didn't look assured in any way whatsoever.
He didn't want that. The goalkeeper really didn't want that in that situation. Mane's an experienced player. He should know that his goalkeeper's fragile at the moment. He's lacking confidence. Don't play the ball in that situation. Just get rid of it and talk about it later.
Maybe a Damac chance before half-time. A Rilson, it was too high for him. No damage done from an AlNassr perspective.
You just tell from Bento's body language. He's not quite the goalkeeper he was 3 weeks ago. It's affected him when you make big mistakes in big games as he did. And the psychological effect that it will have had on him. So in the Champions League this week, obviously they lost that game. The manager stood by him. He's not taking him out of the team. All credit to the manager. But as Sadio Mane, you don't need to put him in situations like that.
And he's not been named in the World Cup squad for Brazil either, Bento, and that will be of huge significance to him personally too.
That's a big blow to him, isn't it? I mean, when you look at his season, this season he's had ups and downs. He made that mistake in the Super Cup in Hong Kong in pre-season, which inevitably cost him his place at the start of the season in the AlNassr lineup. Got his place back, and then that big mistake last week against Al Hilal. Looks like he's lost his place in the Brazil side. Just wonder how he's going to come back from that. Needs the summer off.
Cash lifting it forward. Damac now trying to avoid a summer of despair themselves here. They're relying on favours elsewhere right now for their own Saudi Pro League survival.
We had such drama at the end of last season, didn't we? The relegation battle was incredible. All the way to almost 100 minutes and then decided with that late penalty. Surely we couldn't have something similar tonight.
The Saudi Pro League, it always delivers us something. Rilson, nice footwork. Trials his shot straight into Al-Taibari. To Silla. A bit of a late flourish from Damac at the end of his first half. Only now a few seconds away from reaching its conclusion. AlNassr nearly where they want to be. 45 minutes away from the league title, thanks to Sadio Mane's goal. They have dominated the first half against Damac, and for all the questions about how mentally fragile this side might be after what's happened to them over the past few days. Well, they have answered the critics tonight. The job is not yet done, but it feels all so close from here for AlNassr. At the break, they are leading Damac by a goal to nil. that is going to bring the 2026 Saudi Pro League title their way, and it will not matter what Al Hilal do elsewhere as long as AlNassr are victorious here tonight inside their home in front of their also passionate supporters, that they are going to be the champions. His goal, Sadio Mane, at the moment, is going to go down in AlNassr folklore. And this is how it stands at the top of the Saudi Pro League table. AlNassr and Al Hilal both winning at the start of the second half. So they are going to be the champions with a 2-point margin. Jorge Jesus is going to get his hands on a Saudi Pro League title again. He's going to win one for the first time.
Do you think Jorge Jesus will smile? Emotionless, isn't he? All season emotionless. Covers some yards in his technical area, or not in his technical area, up and down that touchline, but you very rarely see an emotion of joy from him.
And you might have been wondering why there was a short delay at the start of the second half here. It is because the league have ensured that all the games that are taking place tonight on this final night of this Saudi Pro League season, all of the second halves begin at the same time to ensure as much fairness as possible to what could be a really compelling 45 minutes of football at the top and down at the bottom. Trouble for Damac for Robinson is there wasn't a huge amount, if we're going off the evidence of the first half, to suggest that they're going to get the point they need for survival.
Without Varda, they had very little attacking threat. They were dominated in the first half, and they're going to have to find something very different to the first half performance in the second half if they want to take anything from this game. The longer the game goes, though, AlNassr, it'll be nervy for them. They want to see the game out. The next goal, we say it all the time when we're watching football, but the next goal in this game is more crucial than many others. AlNassr win this game, get the next goal, they win this game, that's it, job done. Damac win this game, well, there's a different take on the game then.
Won just 3 league titles in the 21st century, AlNassr. Simmerkamp scored the opening goal of the game last week against Al Hilal, but for 90 plus 8 looked like it was going to be the night that AlNassr won the league.
We keep repeating ourselves in that game, but I still can't believe it. I don't think he could believe it as well. And we saw the footage of Cristiano Ronaldo. He substituted him just before the end, him sat on the bench, and the whole disbelief inside this stadium when they finally thought that the job was done and it was just taken away from them. See Bushell here, there's a good leap, and I think it's the way that he lands. His right arm just gets caught underneath him. I think he's going to be okay.
See him back on his feet, particularly with the injury that Sultan Al Ghanam has suffered over the weekend. There's Fabio Carril, the Brazilian who only joined Damac 3 months ago, replacing Armando Evangelista. 5 of his 13 games prior to tonight. Included victories over 3 of their relegation rivals, which looked like it might be the difference for Damac, but as it stands they're going down. Here's Simmerkamp. Michel. Times challenged by Alabaid. Throw as well.
Like a fullback Alabaid, isn't he? You know the experience that he's got in this league. Great positional awareness. This side to throw in. There was a suggestion there was a bit of Damac time wasting going on in the first
half. I don't think they're going to be hanging around quite in the same way in the second period.
But you know what, I wouldn't be surprised if they do, because the longer it stays like this, the better it is for them. They're in the current situation they're in now. If it gets worse for them, then the game's over. If they stay in the game, they've always got the opportunity of a long ball, a set play, a long throw, something later in the game. I wouldn't be surprised if their tactics stay exactly the same as they were in the first half.
League winner last season with Barcelona in Spain. Al-Khaibari, who was here and part of this AlNassr team the last time they won the league in 2019. Mane, fast-moving Yaya, collecting it, driving it towards Ronaldo. And it is an AlNassr corner.
Really good defending there from Tariq Abdullah. Central midfielder, he tracks the run of Cristiano Ronaldo. It's not really his job to do so. But he spots the Portuguese at the edge of the box, and you see him there, Abdullah, very aware of the situation, gets back.
Alex has got his own personal water carrier down by that corner flag. Sticky night in Riyadh. The scoreline and a goal from that man means they're not sweating too much right now, AlNassr. Corner from Joao Felix. Yaya. Chinez, bit of confusion between him and Mane. So they will clear for Damac. Kingsley Coman, so many league titles through the years for him. Ronaldo. Coman having assessed everything that was in front of him. Khaibari. Coman! Well, if you're going to win a league, do it in the most special manner possible. It's a brilliant Kingsley Coman goal. AlNassr, this is your time. Listen to the noise inside this stadium. And if there was ever a goal that was worthy of winning a league championship, there it is. Kingsley Coman pops up on the edge of the 18-yard box, left-footed. Wonderful strike into the bottom right-hand corner. The relief, the celebration, the party. He has begun again. They thought they had it won last week. Surely they've won it now. Kingsley, 2-0 AlNassr. There's nothing Al can do about this right now. Riyadh ready to go. That party that got abruptly ended last week, it's just started once again. Here we go, listen to this noise. And it's the wingmen, isn't it? Mane and Coman. Everyone needs the wingmen at the party. And they are desperate to feast on more, I think, AlNassr from here. Cristiano Ronaldo's going to get a yellow card, though, for that trip on Silla.
this stadium. Finally, they can start believing.
Wouldn't he love to be the one who seals the deal?
What he came for, and it's taken him a while. Surely now, surely it is.
Too heavy for Bouchard. All too heavy right now for Damac.
Do you know what? What happened last week against Al Hilal will serve as a warning for them. They won't take this for granted now, because at one point in the game last week we saw these celebrations. We saw exactly the same situation inside this stadium. They thought the title was won, but they got bit right at the last. And there were players on that field now that will realise what happened last week. And they will be absolutely determined that doesn't happen again.
Here's Okita. Defending to do tonight. He got that one right. The corner though to Damac. Very rarely troubles this evening, Damac. Selec's corner from this very quadrant brought AlNassr a goal in the first half. Alabai's delivery, a good one, the header over the top. It was Vedran. Got his head on two last week in the win over Alfea.
Charlotte at the far post, Simakan back across, makes contact, concedes another corner. All about concentration now for AlNassr. You can see the silly goal, especially at this stage. They don't want to give Damac any hope whatsoever.
Very recognisable face for the AlNassr fans, Abdulrahman Alabaid. Now, there is a suggestion that there might have been a handball inside the penalty area of that previous corner, potentially involving Mohamed Simakan, so the referee has been sent to the screen here.
That was very quickly decided by VAR. You look at Simakan there, his jump at the far post. I mean, it's going to be very harsh. He's got his arm out, it's in an unnatural position. The referee's checked it very, very quickly. We're about to find out.
Penalty Damac. And the tail far from over, and the silence around this stadium is deafening.
Wow, that is a big call, a really big call. Simakan making a genuine attempt to play the ball. He struck his arm on the way. Vedran clearly wins the header. Struck Mohamed Simakan's arm. And that party, just hold on for a minute.
Invitations in the post. What a moment for Bento though.
If there was ever a moment for him to atone for his error last week, this is it. He's not had a good week, the goalkeeper. The error last week left out the Brazil squad. Is it written that this is his moment? Big, big moment.
Deep breath from Morley Silla, who carries Damac survival hopes on his shoulders. And Silla scores. Bento got a brush of the glove to it, but it was too quick for him, too accurate, and Damac are not done.
He went the right way, the goalkeeper. He got a good hand to it. He'll be very disappointed he didn't manage to keep that out. He had enough pace and power going away from the goalkeeper to find that bottom right-hand corner. What a league, what a story. It just doesn't end. We have so much late drama week in and week out, and yet we still go. This is brilliant, it really is.
So for all intents and purposes, nothing has changed. AlNassr is still going to win the league with this scoreline. Damac is still going to get relegated, but now we'll see what AlNassr's character is all about, won't we? Shal is chasing. And Damac have come past and away with the ball, and in it goes, and Bento reached it just ahead of Arilton, who was waiting to produce the most dramatic equaliser.
That's as good as a save. That is as good as a save from Bento. I mean, at the moment the stadium is silent, it's rocked, and AlNassr are rocked there. Damac did superbly well to get down that left-hand side, ball into the box, and Arilton thought he was tapping it into an empty net. Bento did extremely well to come out and get a big glove on that.
Well, it's funny what belief can do, isn't it? Where has this Damac team been hiding all night?
All of a sudden, in the last 2 or 3 minutes, the belief has just grown. And AlNassr are starting to question themselves from such a comfortable position. They need some cool heads on the field now, AlNassr. They need to start taking control of the ball, regain possession, take control of the game. They're by far the better side, and they have been all evening, but all of a sudden, said to you before, pressure does funny things to people.
Yellow card for Sadio Mane for kicking the ball away in frustration. Change is coming from the visitors. So, another look at that chance again for Arilton.
It's a really good touch from Bento. The reading of the cross from him was excellent.
So amongst those coming on, Yaku Mete, as well as David Kaiki. AlNassr is one of the trio that's made away. Mete, but the offside flag is up against him. They are attacking changes, aren't they, from Fabio Carril?
Got no option. He's got the stage of the game now. Seeing that his side have got a little bit of forward impetus. He's got an opportunity now. He's made attacking changes. There will be a formation change as well. And they're going to try and have a go for this.
AlNassr, the last of the three, to come off that Damac bench. That's Felix. Another yellow card, surely. Coming the way this time of Jamal Harkas. It's far too fast for him.
It's a good area of the pitch. It's exactly where AlNassr need to be. Footwork, João Felix, very good at winning free kicks. Looks at the referee as immediately there's contact. Never thought I'd say this, but they could do it one more.
Well, given last week against Al Hilal, given what happened to them in that Champions League 2 final at the weekend as well.
Scars that don't heal quickly. And at this stage of the game, the last thing they need to do is for this to go deep with the same scoreline. Because Damac will carry a threat, they will go forward, they will try and get something from this game. Their survival depends on this also.
Ronaldo, eyes for goal. The most famous number 7 of them all is about to end AlNassr's 7-year wait for a league title. It's his stage. It just had to be his stage.
Cristiano Ronaldo knows exactly what he's doing. He puts the ball into an area that if everyone misses, it ends up in the back of the net. And like so many times before, hundreds of times before, nearly 1,000 times before, that ball ends up in the back of the net. And there's nothing that anybody can do about it. And the party starts again.
And this is what they came to see. You had the family and friends here, Cristiano Ronaldo last week. He thought that was going to be the night. Surely this is the night.
He's got a stadium full of family and friends. Everybody in this stadium absolutely adores him. And at the moment, they're all getting what they want.
One name being chanted. One name surely on the Saudi Pro League trophy in 2026. Flicker of Damac belief has evaporated again.
You know, he's had a quiet game as well. He's really mentioned it in this game, but you give him an opportunity like that from a set play in those areas, and the intelligence, the footballing knowledge that he's got, he's put it into an area. He knows exactly what he's doing. In his mind, he's looking at the far post thinking, I'm firing this as hard and as low, as difficult to defend as I can, into that far left-hand corner. I'm going to score a goal if everyone misses it. And so often, the players in the middle, because of the delivery, because of the quality, the pace and power and accuracy of the ball, so many players miss it. And that's exactly what's happened. Brilliant. Just genius.
Hat-trick tonight for Julian Quinones for Al-Qadisiyah. So he is now the leading scorer in the Saudi Pro League race for the Golden Boot. Ronaldo is too far back to catch him surely, despite shifting himself to 27 tonight. 3 for Quinones has taken him to 33. Ivan Toney didn't score at all for Al Ahly last night in the 4 that they got in their win. So it's going to be a very pleasurable personal moment for Julian Quinones.
Going on tangent on a different note, what a signing he's been for Al-Qadisiyah, by the way. The relationship they had with Aubameyang last season, this season with Retegui, he scores goals. They'll do well to keep hold of him, Al-Qadisiyah. I think there'll be a lot of admiring eyes.
I was wondering whether he was hauled over, because they're absolutely flying in now. AlNassr are motoring into every single moment, though. Al-Amri going over the top. Who's more pumped up, those on the pitch or those in the stands?
Or us in the commentary box. It's brilliant, isn't it? Absolutely fantastic to be a part of. What a game. And the noise and the celebrations that have started again. But how many false dawns have they had in the last 2 weeks? Surely now, surely they're there.
Al still leading 1-0 at Al Fayha, though in terms of the title picture, it's an irrelevant scoreline. Won't be enough for them. By the way, Al Riyadh are still just 1-0 up against Al Oudud, so Damac are going to go down unless there is an equaliser from Al Oudud in that game.
There's so many eyes on these games tonight, isn't there? There's so many eyes on this game this evening. I mean, I was back in the UK this week, and the coverage in the UK of AlNassr's draw last week with Ronaldo and the worldwide media, the world eyes are now focused on the Roshan Saudi Pro League. It's super.
Coman getting his bearings right. And he was bearing down in the middle, that Coman could have found it. Forward it goes towards Mayte. And then Simakan tussling. Shaw sweeping up. Celebrations for those in yellow. As it stands for Damac, great disappointment. They are going down. Tucker gets his name from the nearby Jabal Damac mountain. Rather pertinent, really, isn't it? Mountain to climb from here. Ronaldo, Felix. It's almost like they've had the battery pack recharged down Nassr. Into the final 20 minutes. Now Felix, Kingsley Coman, that was travelling. Kevin did well just to get his body in the way of it.
I don't think that was meant for Coman. I thought that was meant for Sadio Mane. He made a really good run in behind. You look at the pass, Coman has a brilliant first touch, gets the strike away. Far too close to the goalkeeper in the end, but it was a super first touch that allowed him the opportunity.
One of the Damac substitutes who is needing some treatment, I think, after that coming together with Simakan, Yahya Al-Naji. He's going to be a Saudi Pro League champion again as well, George Jesus, barring an AlNassr capitulation.
Did you say this time last week?
We did. But I think it is safe to assume from here, surely, that this night is going to belong to this particular club in Riyadh.
There is nothing to suggest that it won't.
Free kick, too close to Bento. And even with a 2-goal lead, he's not hanging around. It's a brilliant ball upfield. It just the bounce that took it away from Coman. Naji. 2-point lead at the top, as it was at the start of the night for AlNassr.
From it there, George Jesus down there on the touchline was joining in with the Mexican wave that's going around, but no, he was just throwing his arms up again in despair.
I was going to say, wildly out of sync if he is.
Oh, he's brilliant. He is absolute box office, that man. He's fantastic. He's such a good watch.
Going down by a single point as it stands. Probably worth remembering that just over a decade ago they were playing in the 3rd division in Saudi Arabia, so that's the 4th tier of football in this country. We've had 3 promotions since then. It's been a rise like few others have been capable of through the years. But this is AlNassr's night right now, and it could get even better. Coman, Ronaldo just going to have to wait, but he does wait, but he can't find the ball for Felix.
Overhit that slightly, Kingsley Coman, man with a great assist record this season, 11 to his name already. Overhit that ball there into Cristiano Ronaldo, who might have just overstretched himself trying to get the end of it by the looks of it.
Well, he won't He will not want to leave this scene this early. But he'll also be thinking about the bigger picture, making sure the fresh legs can keep AlNassr moving towards the title, making sure that he doesn't overexert himself ahead of a potential record-breaking 6th World Cup appearance this summer.
There you go. The pass from Kingsley Coman just asked too much of his captain. See there, just slightly pulls up. He, more than anyone, knows his own body. We saw him substituted before the end of the Al Hilal game last week. We saw those pictures of him on in the dugout, so disappointed. They all thought that they'd won the title. But I think there's a little bit more belief inside the stadium now. There's been belief inside the stadium all season. What a super season AlNassr. I think the recruitment of George Jesus as manager, a manager that has something to prove in this league. He would have felt harshly done to with Al Hilal, the way that he was relieved of his duties. As we get another opportunity to look at this free kick. There's only ever one place that this was going. Such a good delivery, it really is. It defeats everybody. It stays low, it's got pace and power. Martinez at the far post. Can't get a touch on it, can't deny that man. His 27th goal of the season. And everyone's here to watch him this evening. Everyone who loves him. I don't think you'll find many inside this stadium that don't. He's surely now going to get his hands on that silverware. Like a boxer, isn't he, in his corner? And I think the corner men looking after him.
How far ahead is he on points?
Oh, I think he's just about there. I think if it was a boxing match, it may have been stopped by now.
Al Park, a cauldron of noise. They've been waiting since 2019 for this. 15 minutes to go. Despite the supremacy, it is still going to feel like a long 15 minutes for AlNassr. But what is 15 minutes when you've waited 7 years?
It will feel like an eternity, an absolute eternity for those inside the stadium. Those away to our left-hand side, they believe the noise is there, it's apparent, they think they're over the line. Some have vivid memories of last week. But what a party is going to ensue this evening. We'll go long into the night.
The only one of AlNassr's forward players that haven't scored tonight. Mane, the corner. Up to offside. Coming up to 20 to 11 in the evening in Riyadh. Do you think people might be heading to bed tomorrow morning?
Maybe 10:38 tomorrow evening. It will be a party that will live long in the memory. I'm sure we had this conversation last week and we were cut short, very short. But this does feel a little different, doesn't it?
2-goal cushion right now for AlNassr. Are very different, with great respect to Damac calibre of opponent that they are trying to see off tonight compared to a week ago. They just managed to push it in the direction of Al-Khaibari. Yaya's going to leave it to Mane. Bari. Coman isn't going to get his shot away. Eventually the whistle does go. And really for Damac from here, they are relying on matters elsewhere now, aren't they?
Yeah, you'd suspect that their race is run here. There's a lot of tired bodies out there. Back there, Hossawi going down holding his left hamstring. They've almost put them into submission. AlNassr, they've just kept going, kept plugging away. Not been pretty at times, but in a way that we talk about Al Hilal so often, they've found a way, and they've had to find a way this evening, AlNassr.
Well, he's not going to be able to go on here, Sanusi Hossawi. That was at least appears to be the indication coming from the medical staff.
I think that was the universal signal for substitution.
We're going to be seeing this goal for many, many years.
They won't mind. They will not mind. Came for a celebration last week. They've had to wait a week, but they're going to get one this evening, that is for sure.
Sometimes the sweetest big wins are the ones that you have to suffer pain to get towards.
They wouldn't have believed you this time last week.
Nearly done for AlNassr. Moment Damac are playing with 10, and that's a problematic ball. There are spaces all over the place. Mane, Ronaldo. Well, I don't know whether he thought Kevin was going to get there, but he didn't, but neither did Ronaldo. And that's a throw.
Still full of running, Joe Felix. Still pockets of space, little holes. This creates a problem.
Michel. Ronaldo, another one for Cristiano Ronaldo. The dream scenario playing out for AlNassr. This is the team that are going to win the Saudi Pro League in 2026. There you go. There is the title that you've been waiting for. Thank you very much, everybody, for coming. Signed, sealed, delivered. Really good play down the right-hand side by Bushell. Excellent piece of wing-back play. Looks up and he sees his captain. Picks him out with a pinpoint pass, and it's the pace, it's the power, it's the precision, and that famous celebration that he can now do with the league title. Get ready for the trophy lift. You've got it. A smile as wide as the kingdom, and the kingdom is his. Cristiano Ronaldo.
I'm not sure he's fighting them back. I think they're coming. You see what it means to a player. You look at what he's achieved over his career. 41 years of age. Manchester United, Real Madrid, Juventus. 5 Ballon d'Ors, 5 Champions Leagues, 3 Premier Leagues. The international honours that he's got. Yet look what it means to him to win a league title here in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia.
He needs to get himself forward. AlNassr are going to get another one, I think. Coman. Flag is up. I don't think there's an AlNassr player on the pitch right now that isn't smiling. These are iconic scenes. At the moment, There is just nothing that they can do to stop this AlNassr team. Joao Felix, Cristiano Ronaldo. Not a hat-trick for now. Kevin Sharp to a slightly loose touch from the Portuguese. I mean, he just can't stop crying, Ronaldo.
I think he's running race. I think he's very tired. He's a 41-year-old that's very, very tired. He's had a long, hard season. I think Jorge Jesus might look at his captain now and think, okay, come and sit next to me, have a rest. You've done your job.
Whether he wants to do that is another case altogether. I don't think Cristiano Ronaldo will be the only one shedding tears inside this stadium tonight. Tears of pure joy. Angelo's coming on. It's not Ronaldo's number that's up. It's that of Yaya. There's going to be a brief appearance off the bench at the end for Angelo, his 50th Saudi Pro League appearance. He's going to be a title winner at 21. For Damac as well, Peter departing, carried out Samari on in his place. He's been brilliant, hasn't he, Ayman Yaya? He's one of the undisputed quiet heroes of this AlNassr team. Wow, that sums it up, doesn't it? 4-1 up when you've got the hunger to go and do that, Joao Felix. Damac corner, but the situation is beyond them. They are just in there for pride now, and in there for hope that there's an Al Oudud equaliser against Al Riyadh. In from Kaiki, won by Simakan, and he's there again to clear. Man of the match tonight?
Well, just scan that QR code and select Cristiano Ronaldo. I think we all know where it's going.
When it comes towards Mayday, really good bit of defending by Bouchard, who was clattered off the back of his bravery.
He's done well tonight. He has. He's a player that I really like. Signed in 2022 from Al-Fatah. He's been in and out of the side. The change now coming up from Jorge Jesus.
The double change, Garib and Alhamdan, and off goes Sadio Mane, goal scorer, and Cristiano Ronaldo, match winner for AlNassr tonight. His job is done.
Mane opened the evening. Usually free header from a set play, but that man there, what a job that he's done this season, and that's how much he loves the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. What a time that he's had here in this country, means so much to him. He said 5 Ballon d'Ors, 5 Champions Leagues, 3 Premier Leagues in the UK, so many international caps, but look what it means to him to win silverware in this country that's become his own. He's at home and he's happy. And he's got that league title, he knows it.
Quite remarkable reception for a quite remarkable man. It's an embrace with Sadio Mane, who has been part of this journey with Ronaldo, along with all those who chant his name.
This is what he came here to do, and it's taken him longer than he would have wanted, but he's done it. Slightly different picture from the dugout this week than last.
Could barely watch, could he, a week ago, from the conclusion of that game against Al Hilal. He can soak it all up tonight, knowing that there's nothing that is going to stop AlNassr from here. Kaiki. 2 minutes to Bento. Had a great deal to do tonight, Bento, and that I'm sure will be a pleasure to him. And the tears of joy are flowing again for Cristiano Ronaldo. Can't control the emotions.
As we say in Yorkshire, put the kettle on, get the Saudi coffee, get it ready, the Saudi coffee and the dates, because there's a good party to be had tonight.
The date with destiny has arrived for AlNassr. 60 seconds to go. And they're going to enjoy every single last one of them. What a job George Jesus has done.
He just put a little bit of water in his hair and slicked it back, ready for the cameras. Look, he looks a little bit sleeker than he normally does. I think he knows there's a trophy presentation coming.
And there is. 4 minutes to go. That is all that is left for AlNassr. After all these many years of waiting, the prize is coming home. Garib. Garib. Free-flowing AlNassr in their groove. Bellick deserves one.
He's played well tonight, Felix, as he has most weeks for AlNassr. Last substitute from George Jesus. He's to play from Al-Hamdan. It's unfortunate Al-Hamdan is brought on most weeks as a substitute. Last week I think it was a defensive substitute that the centre forward was brought on for. Now they can all enjoy it as a squad.
Still playing, by the way, in that game between Al Riyadh and Al Oqdoud. They are in stoppage time. It is still 1-0 to Al Riyadh. So Damac are going to be relegated. Al Riyadh are going to survive unless there's an Al Oqdoud equaliser, because Damac are not going to get the point they needed tonight.
Yeah, we get caught in the permutations of AlNassr winning the league, and what a celebration and an incredible achievement it is for them. Damac, on the other hand, is a completely different side to this story. They're now going to be relegated from the league because of the results this evening.
On goes Nawaf Bouchal, and on for some late minutes. A player that has very much been on the periphery of the team in recent months, Nader Al-Sharari. Here comes the Damac free kick, seen out by Martinez. It's been quite the tussle, hasn't it, between AlNassr and Al Hilal. Great credit to these two giants of this fabulous city. It's been one heck of a title race. AlNassr are going to be the first past the finishing post.
Incredible for Al Hilal. You look at the job that Inzaghi's done. They're going to finish second in a league that they haven't lost a game in. That's been replicated this season in the Portuguese league with Benfica and Jose Mourinho, obviously looking like he's moving on to pastures new. But to not lose a game the whole season and finish second just shows you what a winning machine AlNassr are.
Al-Hamdan Garib. Silla's poke forward. Martinez, who is lunging at everything. AlNassr will do the same. Martinez just being told to calm down a little by one or two of his teammates.
He's celebrated, kicking the ball so high into the stand they can't get it back. Look at this, look at the enjoyment. This is what everybody here has been waiting for.
The final few seconds of the most compelling Saudi Pro League season of many, many years.
When there's an event in the kingdom, the world stands and watches. Here comes another one. Here we go.
AlNassr are the champions of 2026. And how fitting that Cristiano Ronaldo has led the charge on the night when it mattered most. 2 goals. And finally, for the first time in 7 years, AlNassr 6 above them all again. This is a party that's going to go long into the night, and indeed I imagine it's going to go on for many, many weeks in this city. Ronaldo, Riyadh, a relationship that was meant to be. Win tonight, AlNassr. They knew that Al Hilal were not going to give them an inch, because they haven't given them an inch all season. And what contrast to the teams we had a week ago inside this stadium, where AlNassr wondered whether they chucked it all away. But it's a state of mind, and the mentality monsters have come to the fore.
He's done it. He's finally done it. And they've done it together as a collective. Look at this stadium, the atmosphere and the surroundings of this stadium, the noise and the colour that's here. To celebrate the league title finally. That's what he came to the kingdom to do. And he's done it. You can see what it means to him. All of his honours, personally, and team honours over the years. And that man there, George Jesus, deserves so much credit for what he's done with this AlNassr side. He's not only won the league with them, but he's changed their identity, he's changed the way that they play. From pre-season you could see a different AlNassr. You could see a belief, you could see an intelligence in their play. 41 years of age, Cristiano Ronaldo wins yet another league title.
He writes his own script, doesn't he?
Certainly hasn't written the ending, that is for sure, because nobody knows when it'll be. Ever nearing that 1,000 goal mark, you just see the love, the passion for the game, and the relationship that he's got with the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. He knows why he was brought to AlNassr, and since he's been here, the way that he's connected with the supporters, the way that he's connected with the country, everything to him is about AlNassr. And his reaction at that final whistle, it said everything. What a big week it's been for Bento as well. He had such a terrible game last week against Al Hilal. It looked like he'd thrown away the league title. Talking to his captain there, the relief that he must have as well. The relief inside this stadium. Said at the start of the season, there was belief, there was true belief inside this stadium at the start of the season that this was going to be their year after so long. And it looked that way. They won their first 10 league games of the season, and then the drop-off came. The inevitable drop-off in form, but then the strength, the courage, the capability and the belief came back. got towards the end of the season against Al Hilal last week, everyone thought, oh no, that's the opportunity gone. But no, they're losing the Champions League 2 final last weekend, yet they're still here and they win the league title. The all-elusive league title they've been waiting for. You ask any of these players, George Jesus at the start of the season, which is the trophy you most want to win? They're just about to lift it.
Let us not forget as well, amongst these scenes of great AlNassr celebrations, such despondency that will be rippling through the Damac camp because they have been relegated. The defeat here coupled with Al Riyad's win over Al Oqdoud tonight have sent Damac down to the second tier. But the world has watched Cristiano Ronaldo and AlNassr do what they needed to do tonight, and ultimately they've done it in a fitting and comprehensive manner for a title winner. AlNassr 4, Damac 1.
Hit it! U.S. Soccer called with the asinine idea.